all Americans get to hope for the best for the future. And the day has gone thus far without a hitch, including a rather unforgettable moment under beautiful skies when the President and First Lady stepped from their heavily armored limousine and actually got out and walked along part of the parade route. Just hours earlier, the President delivered what was, for the modern era, a short but ambitious second inaugural address.
America's possibilities are limitless, for we possess all the qualities that this world without boundaries demands. Youth and drive, diversity and openness, an endless capacity for risk, and a gift for reinvention. My fellow Americans, we are made for this moment, and we will seize it so long as we seize it together. You and I, as citizens, have the obligation to shape the debates of our time, not only with the votes we cast, but with the voices we lift in defense of our most ancient values and enduring ideals.
Just a part of his second inaugural address earlier today, watching it all with us today, a huge part of our team, NBC's Tom Brokaw. I haven't gotten to talk to you because you've been at a veterans dinner already tonight, just back. But pull back the long lens, and what do you think will endure from today's speech?
I think the overall tone of it will endure, that it was as I said earlier today, a speech in plain language but with its own kind of eloquence. And it's really, we're told by the White House, part one of a two-part appeal to the country to get on with the very difficult issues that are out before us. Part two will be the State of the Union address. The President made it very clear, however, that he won as a Democrat, running as a progressive, and that Social Security and the entitlement programs were important to the stability of this country going forward. We've got to do better with education. Immigration came up. He also talked about new towns, so gun control became an issue. It was, in its own way, Brian, a more functional speech than we normally hear. Normally you get more poetry on the inauguration day. But I think the country was ready for this kind of speech. Whether they agree with him is something altogether different. For 12 years, we've been through a traumatic experience. 2 long wars, broken economy, real division in Congress and other places. So at the end of this day, the kumbaya moment comes to an end. And tomorrow, politics begins again. I was just speaking of broken, looking back at that Capitol Dome. Do you want to let our viewers in on any kind of a secret? Do you know how they plan on getting anything done, say, over the next year? Well, I think that they probably will get something done on immigration. And I do think that they'll begin to get something done on tax reform, because that's what everyone agrees on, those two issues. That's something that needs to get done. On the big issues of entitlement reform and what you're going to do about Social Security downstream and Medicare, something else that didn't come up today. This health care bill is complex, and it depends on individual states to establish those exchanges. They're already in touch. For example, Utah has been in touch with Kathy Sebelius saying, we need to do it on our own terms. And she said, okay, we can work this out. So there's going to be a lot in play here. All right, Tom Brokaw at the end of a long day, but the beginning of another long 4-year journey for Barack Obama. Thanks. Good to have you along. My pleasure. Good to be here.
You and I, as citizens, have the obligation to shape the debates of our time, not only with the votes we cast, but with the voices we lift in defense of our most ancient values and enduring ideals.